Everyone, welcome to WinIS YouTube channel. In this video, we will discuss General Studies Paper 1 Part A, 3 markers. This video is for English medium students. Before taking the question, I would like to tell you 2-3 important points while attempting 3 markers. First of all, try to understand the question, what is being asked in the question. It may be in the form of a question or generally a word is given. So if a word is given, like a dynasty name is given or a ruler name is given, then we have to give description of that ruler or that dynasty in brief. 2 or 3 points are sufficient, but our description should be such that it would cover everything. Almost it will give a complete picture of that particular person or dynasty or the topic. So while attempting 3 markers, remember always we have to write important and relevant information related to the question in 2 or 3 lines. So let's start the question. The first question was Vatican City. See, first of all, we have to tell about what is Vatican City. So we can write first point, Vatican City is an ecclesiastical state. Ecclesiastical state means a theocratic state. Theocratic states are those states which are headed by religious guru, religious head. There is no president or prime minister. So Vatican City is a theocratic state which is ruled by Pope, head of the Catholic Church. The second point, I have written the same thing. It is ruled by the Pope, who is the Bishop of Rome and head of the Catholic Church. Third point, we can write the information which will give its importance. It is famous for museum, libraries, churches, tombs, artistic palaces. Most of them are associated with Renaissance period. So these 3 points are sufficient about Vatican City. Next question was familiar letters. The other question was asked, whose creation is familiar letters? The answer is, it was written by Francisco Petrarch. Petrarch was a laureate associated with Renaissance period. वो बहुत बड़े साहित्यकार थे पुनर्जागरण या रेनेसा काल के. In this book, he addressed ancient scholars like Cicero, Virgil, Horace. So these 2 important points we have written. Generally, author's name is asked in the question, but we can also write the content, another point. So third question is Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights was an act passed by or a law passed by the Parliament of England in December 1689. It was brought just after the glorious revolution of England, and it established constitutional and civil rights. In the first point, we have given what it was. Second point, its importance, what it brought, and third, its time period. So we have tried to give 3 important information related to Bill of Rights. Our next question is extreme nationalism. It is also called radical nationalism, militant nationalism. हिंदी में इसको उग्रवाद कहते हैं, उग्र राष्ट्रवाद कहते हैं राधा. So it is an ideology, एक विचारधारा है ये, in which national interests are considered paramount, for which citizens are ready to sacrifice each and every valuable things. For nationalism or for the nation, people are ready to struggle to fulfill national interest. For they can also use weapons, violence. During first decade of 20th century, in India, a wave of extreme nationalism came into light when we find establishment of Anushilhan Samiti, Abhinav Bharat. Later on in 1920s, we find Hindustan Republican Association, later on Hindustan Socialist Republican Association, who were ready to sacrifice their life. Even after First World War, Hitler promoted militant nationalism, radical nationalism, and just because of that nationalism, Hitler rose to the head of the Germany. So this matter should be written in 3 points. इन सारी बातों को 3 बिंदुओं में लिखा जा सकता है, जो मैंने इस प्रकार से लिखा है. Next question is 3 social impacts of World War First. We have so many impacts, but in the question we have been instructed to write only 3 social impacts. Remember, social impacts, not economic, not political. Some of you have written political, some of you have written economic. That is not asked here. So first point, what we can write? Women's movement got strength. Women's liberation movement got strength actually. Due to involvement of males in war, there was a lack of earning in the houses. So females, women had to come out of the houses. They participated in the manufacturing activities to run their houses. So this way they got importance. This way they came out of the boundary wall of their houses. And it was the first incident of women liberation movement. Second, we can write the spirit of racial superiority ended in this war. It was considered that some races are superior, some races are inferior before First World War. For example, Russia was considered superior, Japan was considered inferior. But in this war, Japan defeated Russia. So this myth got vanished. Third point we can write, efforts were made to solve the problem of minorities. Rather not minorities, rather migrants. Please correct it, it should be migrants, not minorities. Because of war, the problem of migrants came in the light. So here should be not minorities but migrants. माइग्रेंट्स का मतलब होता है जो एक जगह से दूसरी जगह विस्थापित होते हैं उनके लिए ना. माइनॉरिटीज़ अल्पसंख्यक ही थे, इनकी भी समस्या थी कि एक जगह से जैसे युद्ध होता था इनको पलायन करना पड़ जाता था. तो यहाँ माइग्रेंट्स होना चाहिए. विस्थापितों की समस्या और माइनॉरिटीज़ की समस्या दोनों को सॉल्व किया गया. सेकुलर लिटरेचर, द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज सेकुलर लिटरेचर. A literature which is not related to religion. Earlier, during ancient period, literature was created, books were written, compiled. This main subject were religion. It was associated with deities, gods. Stories were written on gods. Stories were written, dramas were written on deities. But later on in India, during Gupta period, there was a emergence of literature which was not related to any religion, but it was related to human feelings, and that was called secular literature. For example, Sudrak Mrach Katikam, it is a love story. Kalidas Abhigyan Shakuntalam, it is also a love story, very popular. In Europe also, during Renaissance period, Shakespeare wrote many dramas like Romeo and Juliet. So the central of these writings were humans, not gods or deities. So we have to write these 3 points. New Muslims. Jalaluddin Khilji defeated Mongols, and after defeat they accepted Islam and settled in the outskirts of Delhi. The area was known as Mongolpuri. Still it exists in Delhi just because of them, because Mongols settled down in that region. Later on, Jalaluddin got his daughter married with Ulugu Khan, who was the Sardar of Mongols. So these 3 points give clear-cut information about New Muslims. So these Mongols came to be called New Muslims after adoption of Islam. Next question is Skand Gupta. The first the point we can write, he was the ruler of Gupta dynasty who ruled from 455 AD to 467 AD. Always remember, when asked about a dynasty or a ruler, if you remember his or the dynasty time period, we should write there. So here we can add the ruling period of Skand Gupta. Skand Gupta ruled from 455 AD to 467 AD. He defeated Huns because during his reign, Huns attacked his empire. And he also built a dam on Sudarshan Lake. His capital was Patliputra. So these 3 points are sufficient for Skandagupta. These points give information about his time period, his important works. Next is Maukri dynasty. So this dynasty is ruled after Guptas. So we can write during post-Gupta period, Maukri dynasty is ruled in the western Uttar Pradesh from 554 AD to 606 AD. Their capital was Kannauj, and the important rulers were Isan Varman and Sarvarman. Harsvardhan ruled after the death of Grahavarman in 606 AD. Actually, in 606 AD, Grahavarman was killed by Sasank Gauda, and Grahavarman was brother-in-law of Harsvardhan. So Harsvardhan went for the help. The people of Kannauj requested Harsvardhan to take the charge of Kannauj also, and Harsvardhan accepted it and transferred his capital from Thaneswar to Kannauj. So after 606 onwards, the Maukri dynasty merged with Pushyabhuti dynasty. The next question is Gurjar Pratihar dynasty. Again, it is a dynasty. So first point we can write a branch of Rajputs. They are Rajputs who ruled initially in Ujjain and later in Kannauj also. Nagbhat first, whose reigning period was 730 AD to 756 AD. He established superiority of this dynasty. It means he was the first notable king of this dynasty. The other important rulers were Nagbhat II, Mihir Bhoj and Mahendra Pal. The next question is Karpur Manjari. It is a Prakrit drama, a Satak. It is also known as Satak, composed by Sanskrit playwright or author, poet Raj Shekhar. And this work has a special place in literary works of Prakriti language, and a very important शतक और ड्रामा इन प्रकृति लैंग्वेज, प्रकृति भाषा का ये बड़ा ही इम्पोर्टेंट एक नाटक है, लिटरेरी वर्क है. और इन दिस बुक it is written that the king Chandrapala married Kuntal Rajputri and obtained चक्रवर्ती पद. चक्रवर्ती पद जो था एक बड़ा ही इम्पोर्टेंट और बड़े राजाओं के लिए यूज़ किया जाता है, तो उसके बारे में पूरी जानकारी ये देता है. So we have given the information about the author and the content of this book. Next question is causes of Bhakti movement. We have to write 2 or 3 causes. So first we can write complexity of Hindu religion, because during medieval period we all know Bhakti movement came into light in medieval history, in medieval time period. At that time period Hindu religion had become very complex, so many deities, so many ideologies. So people were looking for an ideology or a view in religion which was very simple to accept. So it was a reason why Bhakti movement came into light, because Bhakti movement gave them a very simple path for their devotion. Second point we can write destruction of temples and idols. Muslim invaders attacked India and destroyed temples and idols. So, and Bhakti movement emphasized on feelings, devotion to the God, not on the statue and idols. So people thought it would be better to devote to God, not to devote to an statue, because no invader can destroy your devotion, your dedication to God. And third we can write a spirit of coordination and harmony. since Hindu and Muslims had been living for a long period during medieval times, so there was a need of coordination and harmony. That's why these sons, Bhakti movement sons, preferred the path of Bhakti, which was based on common ideology. The next question is Begum Hazrat Mahal. She is a very famous dignitary or warrior or a fighter, revolutionary during 1857 revolt. So first point we can write, she was wife of Nawab of Awadh, Wajid Ali Shah. She led the revolt of 1857 from Lucknow. This question is often asked in prelims. Begum Hazrat Mahal led the revolt from Lucknow. Third point we can write, she escaped to Nepal after British recaptured Lucknow. When British recaptured Lucknow, she escaped Nepal and it is believed that she died there. So these 3 points are sufficient here. Next question is Battle of Vandivas. It was a decisive war between British and French on 22nd January 1760. It is decisive. Why? Because after this battle, French destroyed in India. French were completely finished in India. British hegemony was established. We can also write place Vandivas. It is located in Tamil Nadu, India. And third point we can write British commander Sir Ayacoot defeated French commander Count de Lally. So these 3 points give clear information about Battle of Vandivas. First, the time, place and its importance. All these 3 things we have written in these 3 points. The last question is Hindustan Republican Association. It was a revolutionary organization founded by Sachindranath Sanyal and his friends and his companions in 1924. And the aim of this association was to establish United States of Indian Republic on the line of USA. And third point we can write, this association carried out Karkori train dokaiti या Karkori train conspiracy for which they were prosecuted. So this way we can attempt 3 markers. Try to attempt other 3 markers as I have discussed in this video. If you find any kind of problem or any confusion, any doubt, you can write in the comment. Thank you.